Ladies and gentlemen, the motion picture you're about to see contains scenes so terrifying, the public must be given grave warning.
What is up, everybody? Sewer Dweller here, coming to you from the office with a special video this week. It's been a while since we've talked together, especially on the podcast or anything, but that's all going to change. Podcast is coming back. I don't know how many people are going to care, but the podcast is coming back this week or next, and we are going to be watching Caddyshack 2. But I'm making this video for an entirely different reason besides talking about the podcast, about the Bloody Binge. A couple weeks ago, we went to Indianapolis, Indiana, for Days of the Dead horror movie convention. One of my favorite horror movie conventions to go to, in all honesty, because the focus is it's not as packed and not as busy as Horror Hound is, and the focus is more on the movies than it is the celebrities. Which, don't get me wrong, the celebrities are awesome. They're fun to hang out with. There are some stories I could tell on the podcast, between everybody loving the ferrets, of course, and besides the ferrets, just talking to people, and because a lot of the celebrities at this convention, versus Horror Hound in Days of the Dead. Everything's held in the same hotel. It isn't like you got to go across the street to the film festival or across the street to the after hours party for karaoke or anything like that. Everything's in the one hotel that pretty much a lot of people are staying in, and the celebrities are all staying in. So there is a restaurant and a bar in this hotel, and they come downstairs and they hang out. They eat dinner and hang out and talk. Drink at the bar. Greg Nicotero was at the bar pretty often. This whole time. And again, this is stuff we'll talk about later. But I want to make a video because we bought a shit ton of movies, and I do mean a ton of. We bought like 20 movies altogether. I think it was 19 we purchased, and then I got something for Father's Day, of course. So that's what I want to do. So I want to show off my new collection, my 20 movies that I purchased at Horror Hound. And again, that's why I go to conventions. I want to go for independent movies, for cheap movies, for DVDs and Blu-rays and things like that. I love my physical media. Digital media is cool, don't get me wrong. Being able to watch what I want when I want and stuff like that without having to get up, go to the library, go to the bookcases or anything, which eventually when we get a different living situation, I will show off my entire movie collection. You're talking almost 2,000 movies. DVDs, Blu-rays, all that good stuff. But there was a lot of movie companies there selling. There was a lot of independent filmmakers there, that's what I like. I like the independent filmmakers. I want to support them and hopefully join them within the next year or so. My goal right now is, because I am in the process of making a movie myself, hopefully. Once I get the know-how is really got me. I've got it written. I've got ideas. I've got ideas of people to play the parts. We're just waiting to learn how to do it. But I digress. Like I said, there's a lot of independent filmmakers there, and a lot of these guys didn't have their movies with them, which I wish they did, because I would have bought them. That's the thing, I would have bought them. But, a lot of these guys, they're waiting, they wait for the release dates and everything like that. There was a few there who had their own movies, and I bought them, of course. And I think that's also why I like Days of the Dead a little better than Horror Hound, is because for some reason Horror Hound always ends up... I need to shave. I need to at least trim it up. Horror Hound has the exact same vendors there every year in the same spot, and it just kind of gets old after a while. The same people selling the same movies and everything. And Days of the Dead is a little different than that. Again, they're a little more low key. They're not as big as Horror Hound. But I actually always end up having a lot more fun at Days of the Dead than I do at Horror Hound. So let's jump into the movies though, because that's what I mean. Really, if you're watching this video by now, if you're still watching this video by now, that's what you're watching it for. Most of you probably already clicked off. But we're gonna go ahead and start with the smaller bag, and we're gonna pull the first one out. That is not, I don't know how that got in there. I bought this last year at the convention, but it is a High Spots Lucha, the Lucha Brothers, Pentagon and Phoenix, High Spots. What do you call it? One of them shoot tapes. I bought it last year for a couple of bucks. I don't know why that's even in this bag. I think I just threw it in there to get it out of the way. So the first one out of the bag is the Sleaze Box. Fiendish Fables. Oh, let me hold that up better. Fiendish Fables. I watched it. Yeah. But I'm not going to show you the back because the back has nudity on it. I'm sorry, I can't show you the back of this. But 3 horrifying tales centered around an evil book of fables discovered by 2 siblings while sorting through their deceased grandfather's estate. So yeah, basically it's a get a little closer. There we go. Fiendish Fables from the Sleaze Box. I bought a couple of Sleaze Box movies there. Apparently this company's out of business. I tried to look up their website and they're completely out of business. So I'm glad I bought it. I'm glad I bought it when I did. So next out of the box, okay, this one we got this as a part of a 2 for deal. I think it was like 2 for $35 or $20 each. We bought them both because this guy was kind of this guy was pretty cool. He was pretty nice, older guy. And they just made it, but it is a movie called Mother Shucker. It is autographed by a few of the people who were in the movie and made it. This is clearly a low budget independent movie, which again up my alley. It is up my alley. Suicidal Productions, a failing paranormal YouTube channel, meet to discuss new stories. It's a little hard to read because of the picture and that. To discuss new stories in a last-ditch effort to save the channel. The story they pick, The Legend of Carl Cobb. A drunk farmhand whose body was never found. How did he die? Is he haunting the fields? Nobody knows for sure as the body count continues to rise. So Mother Shucker. The guy had the mask there. It's a corn mask and a ghillie suit. We watched this. I ended up falling asleep, and it was late at night. My new job kind of takes it out of me. So there's that. There's 2 of them right there. 2 down, 18 more to go. This is the other one, actually. The next one out of the bag is the other one that we purchased from them. And I believe he said that this one was actually filmed in Ohio. There's really no... nothing saying it is. But it is called Twisted Gables. Twisted Gables, also signed by a bunch of people who were there. Welcome to Perdition, a small southern town run by corrupt Judge Benjamin Slaughter. When a drunk driving accident leaves one of the town's hardworking farmers dead, and the judge out of jail with no consequence. What? It's time for Gables to take matters into their own hand. Okay, apparently the judge is the one that did it. Doesn't tell us that on there, come out to say that, but apparently. Moving on, though. We'll move on to our next one. This one, I don't know much about this one. I bought this one. The same guys who were selling that had a good sale going on. DVDs for $5, Blu-rays for $10 or $15, something like that. But this is an SRS home video. It is called Snuff Kill. I think I can show that. Yeah. Get the glare off. But that's what the pink tag is too. Was to let them know essentially. You can go able to see it without the. Yeah. It's to let them know that it's $5. Doug is an avid horror fan, and Rallis is the lead singer of a theatrical rock band. Together, they set out to make their own horror movie. But during the filming of a murder scene, the special effects turn out to be all too real, and Doug discovers the sinister side of his partner Rallis and his own fascination with real like horrors. So yes, Snuff Kill. Um, it's cool even if you guys can see it. I'm trying to get the glare out. See, the lamp is behind the computer monitor. Just saying. So the only thing that could be doing this is the outside, and it's pretty cloudy outside right now. But there you go. There's a good little. It's got a very 80s style cover to it. Moving on, another one from SRS Video. This one's open, but I haven't watched it yet. Door 1 of the 5 Doors of Hell. Door 1 of the 5 Doors of Hell. That is awesome. That's a pretty awesome cover. Again, I wish I could do it without the God. I can't even see myself in this. Dude, that's how bad that is. So if you guys can see that, Door 1 of the 5 Doors of Hell. That is an awesome cover. After renting a cursed VHS tape of a horror anthology nobody has ever heard of, 4 horror lovers are sucked into the tape and forced to live out each segment alone. Gore and scares mix in this loving 80s style tribute to the lost age of video stores. You know what? I know 80s throwbacks are kind of the go-to anymore, especially in the indie world. But I'm okay with it. I like the 80s movies, so I'm not gonna get mad. Everybody's doing it though. Yeah. And finally, can I show this? Yeah, I can show this. From the Sleaze Box, the Wine Cop Tales. There is no nudity. I don't think there's nudity on the front. Not working. Is there anything on the back? No. This Sleaze Box again. I'm trying to get it over here. Those are the 4 tales that are in here, I believe. They do have a website if you're interested, but I'm gonna tell you right now, the website doesn't work. They're out of business. It is thesleazebox.com is the website, but it's out of business. I tried looking it up because I was going to order some more movies on there later, but yeah, sold out or closed. There's nothing there. Follow the adventures of Barry Atwater as he tries to sell his horrific stories to publisher Constance Sotomayor. I believe this is a husband and wife team. As a Joel D. Wynkoop and Catherine Wynkoop. Barry tells sordid horror stories of greed, vampire psychos, and crazed cultists. But are they scary enough for Constance? So, yeah. That's going to do it for the first bag, actually. There's only 2 bags. Don't worry, guys. I'm already at 12 minutes. I hope I don't want to go too much longer than that. But let's get the other bag. We got the whistle. This is the heavy one. This is the big one. So yeah, this one haven't watched it, but apparently talking to the people, this is one of those ones that where there's guys there selling their own movies, independent filmmakers selling their own movies. Again, I like it. I'm gonna buy your movie if you're there. That's simple. I will buy your movie if you're there. It is called Night Talkers. Caller, you're on the air. It is signed. They signed it right in front of me. So, but it does star Bill Moseley, Jeff Pearson, and Jason Crow. The late night radio show host Ari Hall gets tired of interviewing guests and opens his phone lines up to the citizens of Marshalltown. I almost said Marshmallow for some reason. To hear the crazy stories from Morris County. Starring Bill Moseley, Jason Crow, Jeff Pearson, a bunch of people you never. Bill Moseley's in it though. That's always fun. I love Bill Moseley. We were watching last night, the wife and I, after I finished, because I'm actually starting school again too. That's another reason I haven't been doing the show. But after I got my homework done last night, Went into the bedroom. We were like, relax, get ready for bed and that. And my wife decided to put on basically Ice Nine Kills' first album, kind of all their music videos. The Welcome to Horrorwood. I don't know if that's their first album or not, but I know the Welcome to Horrorwood series, which is like a big movie by itself with the music videos and that. And Bill Moseley plays the detective in the show. So that was pretty awesome. Another one I've got. Next one is Cannibal Comedian. I gotta figure out how this camera works. Right, there we go. Cannibal Comedian. What can I do to kind of want to be able to everybody be able to see there? Let's get a good look at it. Wow, that's really tiny writing. I need to go see an eye doctor, anyways. But by day, Charlie is a butcher of flesh and bone, luring unsuspecting travelers to his desert roadside stand and serving them up as specialty meatball subs. But by night, he slays on stage in the local comedy club, turning his victims into dark, biting bit. Very tiny writing, I can barely read it. But Cannibal Comedian. It does actually look. Other side. It does actually look pretty good. I think I watched. Did they have a? No, they didn't have a trailer for this, but it does seem pretty good. Moving on. Okay. So Dark Sky Films was there. Dark Sky Films I think they're the ones who own the rights to distribute Texas Chainsaw. They had a really good sale going on. They had a bunch of steel books in that for like $10-$20, and that they also had a 2 for $5 sale, and I bought quite a bit from them. I bought a few from them. I don't remember everything I bought. I'll try to remember what I bought, but the first one I did buy is a classic, a British classic, Horror Hospital. I do know that this right now is on Tubi, but Horror Hospital, a classic in their 2 for $5 bin. If you can read it, hopefully you guys can read it. I'm not going to read all these movies, and that will be here forever if I do that. We've already gone 17 minutes, almost at 20 minutes doing this. So, but yeah, Horror Hospital. I think I've seen it before. I'm not really sure. But we're gonna have to watch it. What's next? Oh, you seen the ball spot. Okay, so remember I told you guys they had a really good sale going on for steelbooks. Well, I bought one. I bought one steelbook. For $10, I got the original 1976, I think, Texas Chainsaw Massacre limited edition steelbook Blu-ray for $10. That's how good their sale was. Like, this was $10. This is like 40, $50 usually. But I bought it for 10. Unopened, it's still sealed. So let's go ahead and move on to. You know what Texas Chainsaw is about. I shouldn't have to tell you guys. This is another one that I purchased as part of that 2 for $5 deal. I know because I don't know if I'd ever buy this movie if not. But it is it's weird. It's a little weird, yeah. Norwegian Ninja. I like the old cheesy '80s action ninja movies and that. We did cover American Ninja on the show, and it's actually been one of our more popular episodes, surprisingly. A fictionalized account of the most notorious political scandal in Norwegian history, Norwegian Ninja is a deliciously tongue-in-cheek spoof of the Cold War spy movie with added ninja action. So yeah, Norwegian Ninja, 2 for $5 can beat that price. It did get to a point because they said they were going to at one point bring out more. Well, he brought out more, but it was the same movies. Or I probably would have spent a lot more money, honestly. They had some good stuff there too. So the next one out of the bag, and I'm just doing this at random. I don't have this organized at all yet. Was my Father's Day gift. While I think I went to the bathroom or to go purchase something else. Because I know this is the last day. I know she bought this on the last day. Um, and I already own every one of these movies, but these are some of them movies that you kind of gotta buy over and over again if you see them. I'm that way with Rocky Horror Picture Show. If I find a version of Rocky Horror Picture Show I don't have, I will buy it. I will 100% buy it. I know the 50th anniversary is coming out next year, um, and I will be purchasing it. I bought the 25th, I bought the 40th, and I'll be buying this one. But, and I should have took the time because Kane Hodder was there. It is the complete 4 movie collection of Hatchet on Blu-ray Steelbook. I love that. I love that cover art with is it Victor Crowley? God, it's been a while since I've seen it. Yeah, I think it's Victor Crowley. I don't know why I didn't remember that name. I love this movie. I love the one of the coolest things if you ever watched the first one. Go through watch the special features. Yeah, it's really just yeah. But this is awesome. This is a Father's Day present. This is great Father's Day present. But in the first one, when they do it is raining again. Um, they do like kind of like a behind the scene, in the special features area of where Joel David Moore and I know the girl in the first. I can't remember her name. I know it's not Danielle Harris. Danielle Harris is in the second one. Um, but they had never seen. They hadn't seen the costume yet or the outfit. They didn't even know what Victor Crowley was going to look like. Um, so yeah, it's just raining like hell again in the sun. Ohio weather's weird lately, guys. But it's the scene in the graveyard where they're hiding behind the mausoleum, and as they're waiting to, for the director to say action, all you hear is Kane Hodder in the background going like getting ready, and the girl starts crying immediately because she's terrified. They don't know what this costume looks like. They don't know what he's going to look like or anything. So they get it all worked up in their heads, and they go action. They come out, and apparently that is the shot they used, and it's pure terror, like pure terror from that girl. So moving on, though. Okay, this one I was actually going to cover this. I was actually going to do this movie on the show. Jennifer bought this one. I'm sorry, not Jennifer. My wife bought this one. I'm not allowed to say. She doesn't like me saying her name. My wife bought this one, and there's really nothing that says what it's about, but it is on Tubi. It is still on Tubi because I was gonna do this movie for. I was thinking about doing this movie for the show. Might even do it for Christmas in July. You never know. But it is because they were here. They were there selling the movie off. He knows. He knows when you've been good or bad. So be good for your own sake. I did look into doing it. Oh, he did sign it. That's what that is. Huh? I don't remember him signing it. So, but there's a sequel coming out. She knows as well. So, but that's the cover art in the back. That's pretty. That's pretty sick cover art. I like that. But yeah, he knows because I do love my Christmas horror. Next out, same company actually. Same company made this. It is a movie called A Hard Place. This was the movie they were pushing. They were actually not really pushing, but actively promoting. Is A Hard Place. A group of criminals find themselves caught in the middle of an ancient feud between the creatures that roam the day and the monsters that rule the night. That's all it says. So that looks pretty good, actually. Okay, this was given out for free. I haven't had a chance to watch it yet, but it is a trailer DVD. This guy put out, and he gave everybody a copy. If you wanted a copy, you got to take one for free. Trailers of Terror, Mark Francis. He's got 3 movies on here: A Vampire's Kiss, Fear the Fook Monster, and Southern Death Cult. Um, if you're interested in any of those movies, or you want to check it out, maybe check out the trailers yourself. ScaredToDeathFilms.com. That is where you can find at least his movies. So check him out. You can, like I said, he's giving out free trailers. You can turn that. Ooh, I don't know if I can show this one. Let me cover this up. Because I do want this to go out on YouTube, and if there's nudity, it's not really nudity, but it can be conceived as nudity. But Games Girls Play. This is a 70s B movie. Sultry 70s B movie bombshell Christina Hart from The Stewardess and Helter Skelter stars as Bunny O'Hara, the underage man-eating daughter of a wealthy American businessman. After sleeping her way through the brass ranks of the U.S. military, Bunny, tits on there. Okay, good. Make sure it's still covered. Bunny is packed off to swinging London and a remote finishing school for wayward rich girls. So it's an old 70s B movie. It's my style. Alright, we only got a few more left, so I'm going to take them all out. This was another one. Jennifer bought this one. And I think it was from Dark Sky Films as well. It is a Steelbook. 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray Steelbook of a movie called Rippy. It's a killer kangaroo movie. There's the back of it. Hopefully you guys can get a good look. Bring it a little closer to the camera. Can't really do much about the glare because the sun is like right behind the camera right now. There's a Rick and Morty banner blocking it. Excuse me. But yes, a series of gruesome murders is terrifying the inhabitants of the Australian outback settlement of Axehead. Maddie, the town's only law enforcement officer, and sheriff searches for clues. However, investigations lead nowhere until their Uncle Schmitty mentions a massive 7-foot kangaroo. Zombie kangaroo. It is a zombie kangaroo movie, guys. Come on. One of these you got to buy it. Alright, so the last 3, again, were part of that 2 for $5 deal. There's 3 more movies. I think that's it. Yeah, 3 more, and that'll be it. The first one I bought. Jennifer is a big. Gotta stop saying her name. She gets mad. My wife is a very big true crime fan. She likes the true crime, serial killers, and stuff like that. So I bought her the Jeffrey Dahmer files. I don't know if this is the same one that's on like Netflix and that, but yeah, it's basically more stuff about Jeffrey Dahmer. Next, I purchased, and I think the weather, the heat, because I work outside now, I work in the outdoors, and the heat's starting to get to me next. Between going from the heat to in here to the cold, the air conditioning, because it's very cold in this room, actually. It's chilly in this room. It's affecting my sinuses. So, bear with me, guys, as I always say. But here's a classic, 1950s or 60s movie, black and white. Frankenstein meets the Space Monster. I think Svengoolie just did this on his show. But Frankenstein versus meets the Space Monster. Good, bad, don't know. I don't know if I've seen it or not. It's one of them ones that just look really cool in the collection. So, and finally, I am pretty sure I have seen this movie, but we got Evils of. I think I might already own it too. If I own it, I might give it away. I might do a giveaway. I got a bunch of stuff I can give away because I got a bunch of extra like double movies and shit. Alien vampires have just landed from outer space to search. In search of the one substance they need to survive. Teenage Blood. But Evils of the Night. Make sure I can show you. I know this is. I think this is on Tubi as well. Honestly. That's the thing about me. I will purchase them. You see the stack. This is just the stack out of that bag. Don't put it here. But all right. Hopefully you guys stay through the whole video. This won't be going on TikTok, of course, because it's 30 minutes long. But hope you guys stayed for the whole video. Hope you enjoyed it. Just showing, like I said, I'm just showing off my stuff. I like to show my stuff off sometimes. Again, keep an eye out. Bloody Binge Movie Podcast is coming back this week. Sometime, probably Thursday or Friday, I think, or Thursday or Saturday. It'll depend. We're doing a little bit of work around in the garage this weekend, so it'll depend on how tired I am, really. I've seen Caddyshack 2 a bunch of times, so I still gotta watch it. I'll watch it again before the show, but it shouldn't be too long. But alright, guys, I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Happy 4th of July, by the way. And you can find me, of course, Bloody Binge Movie Show on Facebook, Twitter, TikTok. You can find me as Sewer Dweller. You can email me if there's a certain movie you want me to cover, or us to cover, because Jen will be back around eventually too, and I'm hoping to get Raz maybe a couple times on the show. But you can email me at bloodybinge@gmail.com. But guys, we'll see you next time.